So here it is, 2026, Papa's house. You'll notice the roof is a different color. No more lions. Looks like they've done a lot of pruning of fronds. We'll go in and just see what's going on. I think the exterior light fixtures are different as well, but it still has that same Mediterranean look. So if they let me take pictures, I'll show you what's up. Here's the door, and remember this little courtyard? And then I think this thing has been here forever. Do you remember this? So here is the inside, and I was speaking to the listing agent. They have done a lot of updating, and of course it looks somewhat different, you know, maybe from what we remember as well. Be interesting to see what you remember. This is the living room. I think Dad had a lot of blue furniture in here, blue velvet. This was the dining room, and they have these, I don't remember if we had these slatted blinds. I think all the light fixtures are new. Obviously, they've put up their own artwork. There used to be a curio cabinet right there. I remember the curio cabinet. So just looking a little more at the living room, you know, it's got a white carpet. They've modernized the ceiling fans and all the decor. And it really does look beautiful. I just want to point out, looking back at the foyer, they've put in this wooden floor. I'll ask him if it's faux or real. It's hard to tell these days. They make so much vinyl luxury plank that it's hard to tell what it is. I'll ask the list agent. He's really nice. This was Papa and Bibi's suite. And again, new fans. And their bathroom is really different, but one thing they couldn't change, and I don't remember this because I wasn't back here often, but it has this step up to go into the bathroom. Like I said, I wasn't out here much, but they did a beautiful job renovating it. Dual sinks, mirrors, can light accents, makeup mirror. They put in a soaking tub. I think he had I think there was I wouldn't call it a hot tub, but a different kind, maybe a small jacuzzi. So window, and then this matching artwork that evokes the window, you know, kind of the same tie in the decor. The bath has been totally redone, and the shower, every new place I go into now has these square shower heads, but it does look really nice. They've done a beautiful job. And the mirror gives it an illusion of more space. And there was also a large walk-in closet for lots of shoes and things to hang and more things. So coming on back out from where Papa and Bibi stayed, going back in to the main part of the house now. They've updated the electrical in this. They've put a lot of updates into the kitchen. They went with, I think they said they were white quartz countertops. I'll grab the listing document just to see, but I'll give you another look at what is all here. And you guys are gonna love this. Papa left the last owner the book of when he built the house, with complete with his little inscriptions, all dated. I took some key pictures out of it, and I left my card with the realtor. If the new owners don't want it, he can contact us and hand it off to us. But anyway, I took some individual pictures I'll send separately. They put in all new, obviously this would be standard to do these days, big new fridge, double ovens. Everything in this world now is double oven. And remember the sink, handing the dishes from the lanai and the dishwashing that would occur? Some of us would have really appreciated this wine fridge. I know I would have when I visited here. But here's another look at the kitchen from this angle. And again, that flooring continues throughout. I think I remember white tile. Here's Dad's little office. I remember him sitting in here doing his, keeping track of everything he kept track of, his finances, whatever. And again, another nice fan and sliding door to go to this little screened area. Oh, before I go too far, I'll take you over to the garage because the garage has a nice painted, oh, I'll take you into the back laundry room area too. And then we'll go over to the other side of the house. But here was the little half bath back by the laundry room, totally redone. I think I'm zoomed out as far as I can go. Get my fingers in there. And tile floor. That's what I thought was in all of the house. I don't remember this wood at all. I think the wood is new. Here's a new lighting fixture with a little fan in it. Bee's washer and dryer were here. I say Bee's because she seemed to take custody of all of that stuff. And then this is where her little office was and her books and more storage of things and the laundry sink. So okay, I'm gonna pause because there's people out there and then I'll resume in a minute. Walking out from the kitchen, you'll remember the great room, which I'll get to in a minute. And here was Dad's little office. I can't remember if I showed this or not. I don't think I did. And this little area where BB had some plants. It was interesting. People were asking, what's the purpose of this area? And I said, well, he just liked space. He liked things to be bright and he wanted areas that he could open and sit in the outside if he wanted to. I don't think he ever went out there much, but he just had it there to make it feel more resorty, you know, so that it was more like a hotel. This is where, you know, we used to eat when we ate indoors, I think. I remember a table there. And here is the living room. And you'll probably hear some voices in the background of other open house people trying to talk over it. But you'll notice what is no longer here. Where the plant stands is where the organ used to be. On the platform. They did take out the platform, but going back and, ooh, I have to watch the mirror. I promise not to take pictures of other people touring the home, but in order to give you the view from here, you can see the great room. I remember the gold seagulls that used to be on the upper walls. I don't know if you guys remember that. These fans, I don't know if they are the original. I doubt it. That would be pretty old. Okay, I'm gonna kind of be cute about the wet bar because I don't want to show the people in it. But remember, this used to be black and now it's white. So anyway, coming on into here, here's our part of the house where we used to hang. And you'll remember the bathroom. I don't remember it having two sinks, although it could have. I mean, I just remember coming in here from the pool and getting a shower. But that was the whole neat part of it, was you could come right from the pool and then come back out. And then here is what I would call the parents' bedroom, or at least when Pat and I came, this is where we would stay. We didn't have kids at that time, but I'm wondering if you other parents also chose this because it opened out on the pool, and which would be really nice and also really safe to not have kids opening up in the pool. But it's carpeted, and I think it was when we were here too. But obviously the carpet's been updated. Going along to the middle bedroom. Those of you who got to stay in the middle bedroom, hope this brings back memories for you. What was nice was looking out on the dock and the canal and remembering how beautiful Florida can be. And then the back bedroom, which again had some nice double windows in the corner, which allowed the view of the dock and the canal. They have a much bigger dock. I'll show it to you. Again, all of these fans throughout, but the dock is much bigger. I'll show it to you. got a hall closet. So whoops, now there's people out there, so I'm going to be cautious about how I go out. Gary is talking to the listing agent, who's a super nice guy, by the way. And here we are in the pool area again. I'm going to walk around and show you. They've redone the pool. Remember, he had the red terracotta around the edge. I'm just waiting for some people to walk on so I don't show them. But here is this little outdoor bar area. And remember I think this is where all the rafts and whatever we swam with were stored in here. And then he said they spent 40 grand redoing the pool. So it now has a blue tone. Fun fact, all the tile around the pool here and the floor, it's the same thing that we have in Gary's lanai. So anyway, here's the little steps. I think they used to have like red accents, but just so you can see that. As I look at this, I remember the little statues he used to have out here, some of the plants. He was really proud of the big palm trees he planted, the royal palms. I'm going to take you out onto the dock now so that you can see it's much bigger than it was when we were here. So yeah, I'm going to avoid taking the people on it, showing the people that are out here. But anyway, I took some pictures from that book that I will send separately that kind of showed the size of his dock, and maybe you remember it. He had a place for the pontoon boat, and then we had that little paddle boat thing we would take out. They have really expanded the size of this dock. It does not have a boat lift, but it wouldn't be hard to put it in. And I remember the little paddle boat, Pat and I would go out on that quite a bit. And when he had his pontoon boat, I think he had it over on this side, and we would step into it. The boat anchor for the pontoon boat, where he would tie it up, is still here. There it is. I'll zoom in. Yeah, still there. And it's got enough age on it to look like the original one. So, coming around and showing just how close it is to the canal. I mean, this is money for these people. From where Gary lives, it can take you like a half hour to just get out to the river, and then you've got even more time to get out to the open water of the Gulf. So this house, for people that boat, should really get their attention. And of course, there is a flagpole with a light. I remember Dad's flagpole. I'm pretty sure he had it there. I don't think it was in the front, although I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he had a flagpole. So, coming back up the steps. Oops, I don't think I gave you a good view of. Let's just appreciate for a moment what the back of the house looks like. Sometimes I get too excited to just move on, but let's take a look. Let me step over so we can see more. Let's take a look at the back of the house. The listing agent was asking about why did it have a Mediterranean style, and we explained that Dad had spent time in Europe and was influenced by some of the features when he worked with the builder to come up with a house that he liked. So, walking right in. We'll take one last look at the canal, and I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Papa's home. Brought back a lot of memories.